How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Welcome back to another episode of Cast Me Outside with me, your host, Aaron Scholl. Today's date is Monday, February 17th, 2025. How are we doing out there? I hope you had a happy Valentine's Day. That was the last time we talked. And you know what? I think I left us off on a question of who is more romantic. I don't know if I got any comments, but just for continuity's sake, I will answer that question that I proposed. And I think men are more romantic. Now, this might be crazy, like backwards logic, so please, I don't have anything staked on this. Disagree if you think ladies are more romantic. Well, obviously, men are more romantic because women are looking for men who are romantic. Men aren't looking for women who are romantic. So there is no pressure for a woman to be romantic. But there is all this pressure on men to be romantic. And if men who are romantic, maybe we should define romantic. I don't know. That might be too hard. But let's get back to that sentence I just stopped. It's like, if that's what women are looking for, that's what women are selecting, and that's the type of men that go on to reproduce in the future. Like, this may be like pop evolutionary psychology, but that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Is that men are the more romantic. Now, is appreciating romance and wanting like the effort of romance the same as coming up with the romantic idea and executing it? No, I think obviously supplying the romance makes you a romantic as opposed to being along for the ride for the romance. Okay, so yeah, let me know if you disagree. Do you think women are more romantic? I mean, I would agree that they appreciate romance more. Maybe they see lack of romance as a bad thing, but I think I think I'm pretty settled on what I came up with. So, yeah. Because women forced us to be romantic. Because if you weren't romantic, you would. Because if your grandpappy wasn't romantic, he would have never been here. Which I don't know. There's sometimes like about this evolutionary psychology stuff where they're like, women selected. They chose. And that was the driving force in evolution was the choosing that was done by women. So the women drove the evolution. But then you look back at history and it's like arranged marriage. Like, who's doing the choosing if it's all arranged marriages? Maybe they're doing choosing behind the back. In some cultures where it's arranged marriage, maybe there's like a little bit of infidelity or something, but still, I don't know. Because it's like the evolution happened over such a long time. So maybe even going back that recent isn't fair, even though it feels like it's a long time ago when arranged marriages were more common. I mean, there's still places where they're so common. So yeah, how did we get here? Some lady. All of us got here by some lady, because some lady chose to have sex with some man. So I think that is like a super trippy way to think about men, as men are the result of women's choices in breeding. So it's like the the product of the type of men that there are in the world are here because we evolved, or our evolution was shaped by the force, which is the selectivity of women. So I think it's just kind of interesting to be like, we're the result of that experiment. But okay, I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. My Valentine's Day was actually pretty good. We recovered. Definitely went through and still going through a bit of say whatever stage of grief it is. Anger feels like it's bubbling. I think maybe that's due to a lack of exercise and just excess energy. But also maybe it's just that point in the letting go where you're just kind of, or I'm just kind of frustrated and it's like, Urgh. But yeah, I showed up to a comedy show and my friends let me do, or my comedy peers. We're not even friends. I've just known you for 3 years and yada, 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 yada. No, my comedy peers let me do 5 minutes. It was a pretty good 5-minute set. And I'll take that from just doing like open mics that, go okay. I think I said recently that it felt like my open mics got a little bit better. Like maybe there's less variance, or maybe I'm less sensitive to the response. But no, if they, let's assume that I'm picking up on something real, that they on average got easier and were a better experience for both me and the audience. But then this last couple of month and a half, I had not as many open mics. That was my fault, and about the average one show, which is also my fault. But low volume, so I was feeling a little bit shaky on my comedy feet. So yes, that was awesome. Matt Moyer, Channel 5 Ratchet News, he set it up. Shout out to him and all the comedians who were on that. And then, it was Valentine's Day. I was like, okay, I gotta go at least talk to somebody. And then I went to like our downtown area. I was like a little bit early. It was like, it wasn't too late after the comedy show. It was about 10 o'clock. I went to a bar we have, and I walked in, and man, it smelled like cigarettes. I bought a $5 Sprite. Went to the bathroom, bought a $5 Sprite. Talked to a cute girl from Portugal. So, and I should have given myself. I kind of rejected myself because I talked to her. It's whatever. Rocky start, but honestly, she like gave me the sign to keep going. I just couldn't compete with the yelling and the language barrier. Where I think you have to kind of trying to make connections with someone who isn't speaking your language and you're not speaking theirs. It's hard to do, and then it's hard to do in like this club, in the club environment. So maybe if it was outside, I would have had a more of a chance. But the reason why I was like, I asked her what she'd spoken. She said Portuguese. I was like, oh, I don't know any Portuguese. And she was like, okay, but it's okay. I know English. Like, so like she was saying, like, we can still have a conversation. Like, she wasn't like allowing that to be a barrier necessarily to the mediocre conversation. But but I was allowing that and the loud noise to be a barrier, and I just kind of saw myself out. Pretty embarrassing, but also a typical kind of whatever. You go there, couple factors aren't on your side, and you're just realizing, oh shit, I am a rusty old man back in the dating scene. But I didn't let that get the worst of me. I knew there was another bar across town that wasn't like a smoky, loud vibe. I mean, they have loud sections, but the way it's kind of broken up, there is like a quieter bar hangout dining area. So I went there. There was some crazy EDM show there, and Ahee is what he's called, the DJ or whatever, and it's fine. I wasn't prepared. I'm just gonna sound like an old man. The bar was too loud and smoky to hit on the cute girl. That I got to the EDM concert and I didn't have my earplugs, so after about an hour and a half of that, I was like, shit, this is not. No amount of EDM is worth any amount of ear damage. And for people out there shaking their heads and dancing weird and having their spinning cloths and their pashminas. I can't say it. Drug reg. It's not even a drug reg. But for all those people, hearing loss is worth it. But for me, it's not. But I ran into a buddy of mine. So luckily I wasn't alone there. And then I hit it off with somebody in the moment. I think when I'm like talking to people in the moment, I'm a little too animated. I'm a little too going for the laughs. And I think I need to be a little bit cooler. Not like fun. Like banter, yes. But not a dancing monkey. And I don't think I was much of a dancing monkey. Maybe it was just who knows why numbers flake, but it has seemed to have flaked. But hey, out there, to run into a friend, got to be out till about midnight, like 12:30. So I wasn't spending my Valentine's Day all alone, thinking about. I made a couple off-color jokes that I based on the reactions, maybe I shouldn't continue to make those jokes. But yeah, that was mine. It was good. It was like the comedy was a huge pick me up. Ran into a friend or an acquaintance from high school. So, but yeah, I just didn't. I re-recorded the Friday episode on Friday, so I just didn't record again for Monday. So I just figure. Production pains, growing pains, workflow pains. I also fucked up and didn't get my clips done this week. So that's kind of keeping in line with the pattern that I noticed before. Was like I worked for about 7 weeks consistently, and then however it shook up like Christmas and New Year's came, and one of those weeks I didn't get it. And then it's been about 7 weeks since Christmas and New Year's, and I just couldn't stay on top of the ball. I think I spent a lot of the extra computer time that I made by pushing back all my video game usage. I think I used that to do like other tutorials and work on other like kind of software creative things that were like video editing and in the same vein as that craft, but not that specific project. So I didn't get those done. So that sucks. That's kind of on the back of my mind. Hopefully I'll get an hour or two of work into the project that I did start for this week. I did start and I did get over some humps. And now like that I think about it, I should be able to fly through these. They're all shorter. They just happen to be shorter. It's like there is no time limit. My time limit is under a minute. But there's no maximum. There is no minimum. Like maybe I should start practicing shorter and shorter clips and see what happens. I think I need to actually like study. And just be like back here whipping up shit and hoping that'll be like a entertaining content product that I'll be able to just transition to a new workplace or career path. But yeah, and then I kind of got sucked in, man. Kind of got sucked into video games this weekend. Besides Friday, like played a lot of goddamn video games. So thank God that I have a schedule for the weekdays, so that my weekdays aren't just dissolved away into fucking being shitty at video games. Dude, they are a tough. They are a tough thing to break. But I need to pat myself on the back end, kind of look for places to grow, because there's a lot of that. Because it's just been 1 week of deliberate phone avoidance. I don't know what, of less phone usage, no phone in the bed, like really phone in phone jail. But it's like, if I have my phone in phone jail and then I'm here in video game jail, just feeling locked in a bad way, like this fucking video game held hostage. Just, oh god, I can't stop. I say one more, and I just can't. And then what I'm playing is Marvel Rivals, so I kind of just got into it this past couple of weeks. So it's kind of been my hyper focus as an ADHD or that kind of thing. That's like, ooh, now I want to watch people play it. Now I want to hear people talk about it online, about how they play the different heroes. But the matchmaking for competitive is kind of a little bit contested. So there's all these like rumors right now. I don't think we have a ton of evidence. We have a couple interviews from the developers describing how they do their matchmaking, but there's a lot of people who are salty with the way it works. They think that Marvel Rivals could be adjusting the amount of damage you do a game. It could be purposefully giving you bad players, maybe giving you or the other team bots, AI, artificial players. And then there's the whole psychology of, is the match exciting? Is it challenging? Is it is it creating engaging gameplay, or is it creating gameplay that you get too bored of and log out? So is it optimizing for engagement to keep you hooked? There's a part of me that thinks it wants you to develop at a certain rate. So maybe you'll hop on and get 1 or 2 ranks up, and then the next day you'll get 1 rank up, and then you'll kind of be in that limbo of not quite going below rank, but not really leveling up. And I think maybe it could try to get a certain amount of hours out of you, or not want you to level up too quick. I think for me it's a skill issue, at least where I am. I'm in gold 3 right now. I got through silver quick. It just felt like it took forever to get out of bronze. I think that might be the psychology of being in a league that you feel like you're beneath. Oh, why am I still in fucking bronze? But yeah, I watched a really interesting video on the matchmaking, and it is pretty interesting to me, at least the psychology of it all. And then it's like, oh, am I fucking getting played by this game? And I think there's a part of me that's like, I should just be like, this game, it's manipulating me. That's kind of how, a little bit of how I broke some of the spell of some of the really negative social media. It's of framing it as that this is something that's here, that's not in my best interest, that's using me. It's like, okay, with that mindset, fuck that thing. Am I right? That's kind of might be where I'm headed with fucking Marvels. If I waste another goddamn weekend playing video games. I'm not gonna give every update to when I falter on whatever my little goals that I put myself, the lifestyle changes I'd like to make. But the power went out, and I did look at my phone in bed, and so it's kind of a reset on that. But I made it a week, and then I made it a week with having video games at that specific time chunk, so they're not I'm trying to contain the beast, put them in their little box, put the phone in the cage, put the video games in the time slot. And it's been a week of that. And, we're kind of starting this week. It feels a little bit like on our heels because I was on the phone in my bed. I fucked up, laid there, watched a ton of Marvels. But, that is that is what happened. I also don't feel like I'm going to say every time I fuck up. Maybe periodically I'll say I'm still on, like I'm still keeping up with it. But I think, there's going to be ups and downs. Right now in the back of my mind, I'm like, exercise. You don't exercise enough, Aaron. So hopefully I can get some exercise. But yeah, that was a good little 21-minute rant. Let's get into the advice. My friend embarrassed me at a get-together from drinking too much. Okay, friend got too drunk. See? First of all, I get it. I'm pretty sensitive to drunk people. A lot of drinking in my family. I had to deal with seeing a lot of people who I know be drunk in front of me and be embarrassed by them. You can't. I don't know. It sucks. It's sad. I'm not gonna get an Al-Anon. There's I forget what it's. There's children's of alcoholics. There's Al-Anon, which I forget what that sounds like, but that's like people who just are affected by alcoholism, but they're not necessarily alcoholics. It's a pernicious thing that changes people. And then here I am trying to do a sober year. Well, obviously it's not because I've had so many positive experiences with it. But okay, whatever. Before I get vague and riff for 15 minutes off just the headline, let's read this story. We only have a couple minutes left. I had a Galentine's Day get-together at my place, and it was the first time this friend met my other friends, who are still pretty new in my life, so it was embarrassing that this was the first impression they got of my other friend. Dude, I don't know. I feel your embarrassment. You're bringing people together. You're cool new friends. Yeah, it's like, this is why I want to be friends with you, because look at this fucking schlub. But, dude, Galentine's Day. So, man, I get it. Someone with a broken heart, if she's getting fucking smashed on Galentine's Day, and the gals don't even have her back, that's a Galentine's Day tragedy. I mean, you want Galentine's Day miracles. It seems like this was a pretty emotional Galentine's Day. But let's continue. There were a couple girls I had met that night as well. Okay, yeah. You should care less about them, but again, it's like, if you're the sober person getting all the attention that the drunk person can't feel shame about in the moment, I get it. More people, the less likely you are to feel good about it. Okay. She just becomes mentally extremely slow and stupid and can't comprehend simple things. Okay, I get this. Where you're just talking to a fucking brick wall of a person who's a sloppy. You're talking to a sloppy, not even brick wall, but just a sloppy. Just like a sloppy. She said it slow. A person who doesn't get things. It's like talking to a brick wall. It is kind of like a brick wall, a more annoying brick wall. We were playing a board game, and it became awkward because I had to repeatedly tell her what to do, and she couldn't understand such simple directions like guess the word from the drawing. Yeah, okay. If some of these people play they're weird board games and you can't be smashed. But if it's like a tried and true Pictionary that she's not like understanding, you can get fucking. You're so drunk you can't do Pictionary. Can you do tic tac toe? I don't expect you to win, but I expect you to be able to like draw an X or an O. And I would have given the drunken girl a benefit of the doubt and said, you just got to fucking referee or supervise if we're playing some Settlers of Catan, some board game some nerd made, and other nerds start shitting on board games. Board games are fine. They're fun. Never got addicted to a board game. But yeah, if she can't do Pictionary. And you know what I hate? Waiting on people. That's why I can't do bowling. But bowling, the worst part, lollygaggers. Cause I want to like build a little bit of momentum, but it's like, oh no, go sit, go put your hand in front of the fan. It's like that's like what you do in between rounds of bowling. Where it should like, we should just be bowling all the time. All right, where was I? Yeah, not looking good for your friend. And I would be annoyed if it was dragging on the gameplay. If it was making the gameplay drag. I'd be fucking fuming. I would be pissed. I'd be like, all right, we get out of timer. Like, like that's how like anal my family is. And you know, at a certain point, I would agree with that. We have a little, usually a little hourglass, minute glass. That's like a minute timer. And if things are really starting to drag, we'll be like, you got to try and make your play within this minute. Put a little pressure on them. I mean, there's no real consequences for not doing it within the minute, but it's amazing how a deadline really will put you ass. You'll make a decision. It might be the bad decision, but you'll make it. Okay. She kept asking me for help, and I had to tell her multiple times I can't help her because it would defeat the purpose of the game. It ruined the fun, and we all sort of gave up. Yeah, she was too drunk to have fun. This is where you need like a drunk person, like a tablet. You need like to do basically what you do with kids. Go to the playroom. There's a nice bean bag and some chips or whatever. There's a doll you can talk to. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. If she was so fucked up, like, I think maybe at some point you gotta be like, you're on my team now. We're a team, okay? Because you're not really a person. You're you're an anti-player, so we gotta get you over here and put you on the shoulder of an actual player of the game. All right, so she made Pictionary collapse within itself, implode, if you will. At another point, she admitted to the group that she ruined her previous relationship because she cheated on him, and no one knew what to say. Okay, so this person is fucking crashing. She's crashing out. You can tell I've been gaming. She's tilted. You can really tell I'm gaming when we say we're tilted. And you know, she got fucking seduced, or she seduced some random guy and it fucked up her boyfriend and her relationship, and now it's Valentine's Day and she's got to kind of deal with the public display of love. And guess what her public display of love would look like? It'd look a little bit like her trying to play fucking Pictionary. It'd be an anti-public display of love because her boyfriend would be like, yeah, good riddance. Love stinks. That's what I was. That's my one regret. I was on Valentine's. I had like a sort of fun anti-Valentine's Day energy about me. I looked up The Wedding Singer. He covers a song called Love Stinks in The Wedding Singer, Adam Sandler. And I was like, yeah, love stinks. And it felt good. and I was gonna be the love is lame guy on Valentine's, like as a kind of as a character, but I kind of gave it up because I don't know, I just didn't commit to the bit. But I wish I went on stage and said, "Okay, for everyone who's not having a great Valentine's Day, love stinks." I should have done that for us for the brokenhearted. But yeah, now she's like, okay, now we're figuring out why she's fucking drinking. So it's like a bunch of gals, Galentine's Day. Your one friend's a hoe who's crashing out because she fucked up her relationship. Why aren't you guys going into girl therapy mode? Why aren't you guys gathering around her and letting her incoherent dribble? Dude, I got stuck listening to someone like be drunk and talking to me, and it's like, okay, let's get out of here. I was actually kind of standing around awkwardly to approach some girl. I approached this girl, and it actually went well. I mean, I messed up with a little bit, and I kind of like, ejected myself kind of before my time. We're shaking off the rust, but she was like, I don't even know if I want to say it because it's someone's like personal life. But whatever, I will, since I talked about this, I will give you this. Like she did give me a shit test, which I think I passed. So a shit test is like kind of when a girl is rude to you, and like she like gives you shit. And she had one of these belts from the 90s. There were these belts that would have two circles or two holes, basically all throughout them. Like it was just punched with two holes, like kind of as its belt notches. And they were pretty popular when I was growing up. They kind of came with pants when you bought them. Like some pants had a belt on them. So you bought the pants and the belt? Okay, whatever. So I was like, oh my God, are these belts coming back? And she's like, I wouldn't know. I was like 3 when they were popular. So she's being like, I'm young and hot. Like, what are you doing here? She was average looking, but still, she was young. She was, it's a seller's market. And I was like, oh, you're young. You probably shouldn't even be at this bar. Did you get carded when just you passed the shit test? She was potentially giving me shit, and you pass shit tests by exaggerating. It's like you kind of yes and it. You take it to its logical extreme. And who knows, maybe she wasn't. And then when I talked to her, she had a family member in the hospital, so whatever. It fizzled out. I ejected. I should have at least got the no. At least when it comes to like down to like a number or whatever, just for practice's sake. But I didn't. And okay, there's gonna be a lot more awkward approach stories. Cast Me Outside listeners, so I'm glad you're here for it. Okay, let's see if we can get through this in the next couple of minutes. I'll just start from the beginning of this paragraph. At another point, she admitted to the group she ruined her previous relationship because she cheated on him and nobody knew what to say. And I got major secondhand embarrassment. Dude, why aren't you guys going into girl therapy mode? And get your freaking homegirl's back. She's crashing out on Valentine's Day. But I get it. Pretty awkward. Someone you don't care about. How I Met Your Mother, I watched all of that show, and it was very good. I didn't even notice how bad the last season was until someone on the internet told me it was bad. But there's this one character called the Oh Honey Girl. And it's just like the girl who kind of falls for all the bullshit. Like, this is like, just give her an oh honey. She's crashing out. She would also say contradicting things like that she broke up with him, then say he ghosted her, then the guy she cheated with I never met, then the guy she cheated with I did know, and so on. Okay, so she's just fucking spiraling. At this point, Uber, get that girl a tub of ice cream, get her a fucking girl power movie, not a romantic movie, and call her an Uber. Get her ass out here. But that's so was it worth it? Was it cheating? What did you learn anything? Let's hope you learned something. Let's hope you're not a once a cheater, always a cheater, because that would just be the real heartbreak on Valentine's Day. Not that you're a drunk mess. All right. Then at the end of the night, she wasn't making any sense. Okay, so she got drunker and more incoherent. One of the girls offered her a ride home, and she just kept looking at me and saying, "Are you sure?" When everyone was trying to leave, she wasn't able to give them her address, so they had to text me and ask her where she lives. Oh, okay. We got her home. We got her home. She had told me when she arrived she was nervous and had been drinking before getting there. I feel bad for her, but at the same time, I don't want to invite her around my other friends again. Yeah, is this like a one and done? Is this like oh honey, you're pre-gaming for Galentine's Day and now you're crashing out and we can't just fucking... We're all here single. Don't you wish don't you wish that we would have selected more romantic men as the women? Then we wouldn't have to be here alone. But alas, the companionship you have, your fellow, I don't even know. All right, reset. We'll just reset. But yeah, don't you wish you would have picked romanticer men? Don't you wish you would have bred the men to be more romantic? Maybe you wouldn't have to rely on Galentine's Day and this girl's crash out as your pseudo entertainment / headache. Yeah, I don't know. If you want to one and done it, you can. Invite her to something with no drinking, and then maybe give her like a sober chance. And because I'm a big softie. I would forgive her. Can anyone relate or have any suggestions on what to do? Should I apologize to the rest of the group on her behalf, or just not make a big deal out of it? As someone who likes to gossip and talk, obviously, invented my own show to talk. I wish I would take the advice of less is more. It's just fun to talk shit, and I think sometimes I come off in this sarcastic way that either A, my jokes aren't landing, or B, the sarcasm isn't being taken up, so A, my jokes aren't landing, so CA. So either A, B, or CA. Yeah, exactly. So I think, everyone knows what they saw. I think you can just be like, man, love fucking stinks. I may be single, but at least I don't have that much baggage. Yeah, I would, if this is a good friend, and it was extraordinary circumstances, it was Valentine's Day and such, maybe invite her out to a day thing that's not drinking centric, and see if she can hold her own, and then at that point, maybe start considering only one-on-one time. I don't know. Short hangouts out in public. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, another regular episode of Cast Me Outside. If you made it this far, just know that I appreciate you, and we will be back tomorrow. So thank you so much for watching this episode. It's been a lot of fun, but we're done. Gotta run. Thank you this time for your time. And until next time, keep on living and loving. Peace.